Good evening. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Tonight, we are going to do an English grammar lesson. And in this lesson, we are going to discuss sentences. What is a sentence? Types of sentences. Okay. So that is our discussion this evening. What is a sentence? When you ask to define what is a sentence, one way of defining a sentence, simply put, a sentence is a group of words that has a complete thought, or that expresses a complete thought. That is a sentence. So when we go further in defining a sentence, we can divide a sentence firstly by naming a subject and a predicate. So a sentence will have two parts. A basic sentence, okay, a basic sentence will have two parts. The first part is the subject. What is this subject? The subject of the sentence is a person or a thing doing the action. That is the subject. So we can define subject. A subject is the thing or a person doing or carrying the action. Okay, that is how we can define a subject. Now, the second part in defining a sentence, we are using the word predicate. What is a predicate? A predicate is added by a verb followed by anything else, preposition or anything else. So the head of a predicate is a verb. So the simplest sentence can have a subject and a verb. Okay, a subject and a verb. That's the simplest sentence one can have. So when they ask you to define a sentence, you should put this in your mind of a subject having a subject and having a predicate. Okay, subject, verb. The subject is a noun or a pronoun. Okay, that's why I say name of a thing or a person. So it can be a subject, can be a noun or a pronoun. Okay, in a sentence. Okay, that's the way it is. So these two parts can shape the way we make sentences. Okay, now when we look at the types of sentences, we can have a simple sentence, like I said before. A simple sentence can be made of a subject and a verb, and that's the simplest. There are other types of sentences as we discuss, we'll come to them. Okay, and when it comes to simple sentences, it's not the number of words in a sentence, it is the constituents of the sentence that makes that sentence a simple sentence. Because sometimes people will mistake the number of words in a sentence to a simple sentence. Okay, for example, Jack banged the door. Jack banged the door. We have Jack as our subject, we have banged as a verb, and the door as our object. So the next part that we'll discuss is object. Object is something like receiving or completing what the verb is doing. Okay? So a complement is a word or group of words, because sometimes it is not one word. It can be a phrase that completes the meaning of the verb. So we can ask this: Jack banged what? So if the sentence, we leave this phrase like Jack banged, the next question we'll ask is, what did he bang? So the do completes, in a way, giving it more meaning. It complements the verb. Okay? And sometimes there is more than one subject sharing a predicate in a sentence. So we can have simple subject and complex subject. A simple subject can be just like the example I've given, Jack. When we come to complex subject, you can have Jack and Felix. That's a complex subject. Jack and Felix went to Lusaka. Okay? Jack and Felix went to Lusaka. That is a Felix and Jack is a complex subject. Okay? So we have simple sentences like this. So all you need to know, first of all, is a subject should have a subject. A sentence should have a subject, a verb, and a predicate. Predicate, its job is to complement the action, the verb. In short, there are 4 types of sentences. So there are 4 types of sentences. There are other various ways of categorizing the sentences in English, but tonight we will look at 4. The first is declarative or affirmative sentences. The second is interrogative sentences or interrogation, in short. Imperative sentences and exclamatory sentences. What is declarative? To declare. Okay? These are sentences that state or affirm something and always end with a full stop. Lusaka is the capital city of Zambia. That is an affirmative statement. It is affirming, it's a truth. The sun sets in the west. It's another example of what is declarative. Interrogative sentences, these are sentences that ask questions. They employ what is known as inversion and usually begin with an interrogative pronoun or an auxiliary verb. Okay? Is Lusaka the capital city of Zambia? You see how it is being phrased. Does the sun set in the west? So then we have the imperative sentences. What is an imperative? These are sentences that issues commands. Stop making noise. Sit down. Commands. Come here. These are imperative sentences. Then we have what is known as exclamatory sentences. This expresses strong emotions. What a beautiful goal. The surprise shows emotions, the surprise, wonder. This is what we call exclamatory marks. So these are 4 types of sentences that we have looked at briefly in our discussion this evening. Feel free to make sentences below and post them. Shalom, shalom. Thank you for joining us, and always share.